I made a video exactly 8 days ago on why I thought Tesla stock should go to at least $800 a share and why I would be buying more in 2020. The video got a good number of views, but then I read this comment about the video on Reddit. And I thought, this person actually has a pretty good point. So I'm going to give you some new information on Tesla stock and hopefully make it 10 times as entertaining. So comment below and share your opinion on these videos. Also, as a disclaimer, when it comes to making predictions about the future of stock prices, you need to make some forward-looking statements.
Obviously, we've made a bunch of forward-looking statements, as they call it.
So as a quick disclaimer, these are my own personal opinions. Never rely solely on someone else's work and always make your own decisions. Okay, so here's the Q3 call where Elon talked about this value creation event, and this is what really got me interested in the Robotaxi opportunity. Take a listen here to the conference call.
That transition, that sort of flipping the switch from not Robotaxi to Robotaxi, I think will probably be the biggest step change increase in asset value in history, by far.
So this is what Elon was talking about. Basically the idea that a Model 3 or any of the Teslas that are updated with the Robotaxi software.
I mean, essentially, like, everyone's training the network all the time is what it amounts to. Whether autopilot's on or off, the network is being trained. Every mile that's driven for the car that's hardware 2 or above is training the network.
Any of the Teslas that are updated with the Robotaxi software costs new, let's say $40,000 or $47,000. The NPV of operating a Robotaxi means the car could be worth up to $200,000. So I know the math sounds a little bit insane, but that's what Elon Musk was referring to, and it makes the Model 3 a pretty good deal.
So as one example of a project that we recently worked on is the detection of cut-ins. So you're driving down the highway, someone is on the left or on the right, and they cut in front of you into your lane. So here's a video showing the autopilot detecting that this car is intruding into our lane. So that's fleet learning. No humans were harmed in the process. It's just a lot of neural network training based on data and a lot of shadow mode and looking at those results. Going down, I think this is San Francisco, of a Tesla. So these are our cameras, our sensing, and we're looking at all, I'm only showing the main camera, but all the cameras are turned on, the 8 cameras of the autopilot. And if you just have this 6-second clip, what you can do is you can stitch up this environment in 3D using multi-view stereo techniques. So this is the 3D reconstruction of those 6 seconds of that car driving through that path. And you can see that this information is very well recoverable from just videos. And roughly that's through process of triangulation and, as I mentioned, multi-view stereo. And we've applied similar techniques, slightly more sparse and approximate, also in the car.
I was called a fraud and a liar. It's not going to happen. This is all untrue. Okay, famous last words. There is still, in 2019, no car that can compete with the Model S of 2012. It's 7 years later. Still waiting. All these things, I said we'd do them, we did it. Said we'd do it, we did it. We're going to do the Robotaxi thing too. Only criticism, and it's a fair one, and sometimes I'm not on time. But I get it done, and the Tesla team gets it done. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to reach combined production of 10,000 a week between SX and 3. Feel very confident about that. And we feel very confident about being feature complete with self-driving. Next year, we'll expand the product line with Model Y and Semi, and we expect to have the first operating Robotaxis next year, with no one in them next year. It's always difficult to, like, when things are on an exponential, at an exponential rate of improvement, it's very difficult to kind of wrap one's mind around it. We made an important change to our leases. So if you lease a Model 3, you don't have the option of buying it at the end of the lease. We want them back. If you buy the car, you can keep it, but if you lease it, you have to give it back. And as I said, where in any locations where there's not enough supply for sharing, Tesla will just make its own cars and add them to the network in that place. And at some point, you won't need steering wheels or pedals, and we'll just delete those.
So yeah, I got pretty excited about the FSD or full self-driving or Robotaxi opportunity when I started really researching things. This is Ark Invest's model, and you can see at the bottom here they have a $6,000, $6,100 price target. I think the public number has been 4,000, so maybe they're a little bit more aggressive here. But one thing that's interesting, you can see, and this is their autonomous fleet assumption, which is 7.2 million. You can see if you zero that number out, that the stock price target goes down to 1,300. So I guess like Ark, or I should say I agree with Ark that there's a significant amount of upside related to that opportunity specifically. They looked at things a slightly different way. They basically assumed that Tesla would take a revenue share from the car owners of, they called a platform cut, 30% ex-China and 10% in China. If I kind of compare this valuation to how I ran my numbers, let's say we do 1 million cars, which is what Elon said would be on the road, and we get a 30% platform cut, a 50% margin, and say I put a 15 times multiple on this because, again, I mean, you're really just you're not taking any capital risk. You're taking a revenue or a royalty stream off of somebody else's asset. So I used a 10 times multiple previously, but if we say 15, I actually get back to $800 a share, $790, $850. Thank you so much for watching this video. By the way, in an earlier video, I said I would make a video every weekday, and I'm not saying there's a connection, but every time I upload a video, Tesla stock keeps going up. So anyway, if you're enjoying this ride, please take 1 second to hit the subscribe or thumbs up and show your support. Thank you so much. The support really helps to make these videos better and better. And I didn't ask for subscribers on my last video, and nobody subscribed, so I'm trying something a little bit different. I'll leave a little video here to play the rest of this out, and thank you so much for watching. See you soon.
At the point at which we're able to upload the software enabling a Tesla to become a Robotaxi, expect to have that from a functionality standpoint by the end of next year. Basic functionality aspirationally end of this year, but reliable enough that you do not need to pay attention, in our opinion, by the end of next year. Then we would need the acceptance by regulatory authorities will vary by jurisdiction.